So our internships are mostly tech-based. However, they do often have components of other things because of the companies that we're working with. So for instance, Barclays is a finance company. And so our interns right now are kind of getting a related internship, but it is based in finance. So there's that the two because of the industry that Barclays is in.
Is this internship only for women?
No. So while women and other underrepresented groups in tech are kind of the demographic that we are aiming towards, we also accept students. So right now we have several actually guys in our program. We have people who, I guess if you look at tech, you wouldn't necessarily consider them to be underrepresented, but we look at your application as a whole. So I will say that when we review your application, it is done blind. So when we are looking at, your essay questions and things like that, we have it set up in the system where we cannot see your age, your sex, or anything like that. So I don't know if I'm looking at Mike or Michelle. I have no idea who I'm looking at. I'm just looking at the application that is in front of me and the materials that are there.
How did you start your career in this field?
So my background is in higher education and in nonprofit. When I was in grad school, I worked in our student affairs office. And so that's kind of my first foray into this. I was an area coordinator as well as essentially the assistant director of student engagement. And so I started off in higher ed. Before I came to CUNY, I actually ran a community center in the South Bronx. And so I know that I had to figure out a way to kind of bring those two together. And CUNY and Breakthrough Tech kind of fell into my lap in a way. But that's my background. So as much as it fell into my lap, I was kind of on this trajectory and just didn't necessarily know it based on the decisions and opportunities that were presented to me.
And that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying too? And the wonderful thing to keep in mind is, students, you have a web of opportunities. All you have to do is step out.
Yes.
There's a web of opportunities out there.
Take the ones that you aren't necessarily sure about. When I took on running a community center in the South Bronx, though I'm from the South Bronx, I was like, is this something that I really want to do? This just does not feel like it's in my wheelhouse. I want to work in higher ed. But the opportunity presented itself. It came at the right time, and I took it. And I found all of the things that I love and that I'm passionate about kind of converged together. And then that's how CUNY and Breakthrough Tech came in there. So you really just have to be open to all opportunities that are presented to you.
Do you get to know which companies are sponsoring for the year that you're applying to?
So we are, just like you are submitting your student application to us, they are also submitting their commitment forms. So when you're submitting your application, we don't necessarily know which companies are going to be participating. We have a general idea. There are certain companies that do it with us every year, but we don't know what the companies are until about October, which is about the same time that we're handing out the student acceptance letters. So by the match event, you will know which companies are going to be available.
Make sure to check out the My Career tab on the BC Navigator app, where you can track your career progress based on the amount of credits you've earned, stay updated on upcoming events from the Magner Center, and watch our videos for insight and advice on your career field.